Leo, are you here?
Yes, sir. Good to see you, man. Good to see you, brother.
Oh man,
Yes,
my
sir. Hey,
man.
sorry about that. I was trying to click the calendar, but it had like a whole description. So I used the one in your
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah,
yeah, yeah. It's
yeah,
all
yeah.
good. Sorry about the wait there. Good to see all you guys. Thank you so much for the opportunity.
Good to see you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We have a little group live in I think City of Industries as well. I think SoCal group is on, and we have a little group here in Vancouver and a bunch more people on Zoom. Hey guys, super excited about today because Leo is I think what at 0.007% influencer here at EXP Realty. He's got more than it was 2,000 agents in your organization, around there. Okay,
Right around there. Yep.
and guys, he's gonna teach us on how to make your life easier through automatic workflows through doing AI. This is going to be super valuable. I'm super excited to have him. Leo has become a great friend and I can't wait to collaborate more. Let's grow movement. Let's do it. Leo, the floor is yours.
Awesome.
Oh,
Thank
I'll
you so
make
much,
you a
brother.
co-host if you want to share screen as well.
Yes, please. Yes, please make me co-host.
Okay.
Yeah, because I got a lot of stuff to share.
Okay.
So just context, right? I think I have about 30 minutes. Is that correct? 30 minutes around
45.
there.
So, you'll talk for maybe 20 or 30, and then we'll have some Q&A.
Perfect.
Leo,
Love it.
if you want us to be here for 24 hours for you, we're all ears.
All right, Axel, for sure, brother. I got you guys. I could talk about this topic all day, every day, by the way. So I love talking about this. So first and foremost, I just want to say thank you to John, obviously, for the opportunity, bro. Thank you so much. You guys are, obviously have a special gift by having John as an amazing leader with you guys. So shout out to him. Give him a big round of applause, obviously, for putting this together and inviting me here to this call, right? Because I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for John, right? And it's the power of relationships. It's the power of relationships, right? We've shared the stages so many different times. We got off of the stage, and I'm like, bro, I need you to come and share with my team. And then, he's like, I'm game, like when, right? And now I'm doing it right back. So again, right? I think it's such a gift, right, to be around great people. And also, I know something about you guys because you guys are around John, right? You guys are all the top performers, the elite. So thank you guys for being here and listening today. My main intention here today is to share with you guys what I've learned with artificial intelligence. Just quick background. I'm not a tech person. Okay, so I'm a sales guy, right? I've been in the real estate industry for 20 years, right? I grew up in this industry. I started at 18 years old. I dropped out of high school. I said this is going to be the industry for me because I wanted to be in suits. I wanted to drive nice cars and I wanted a nice house. That's what persuaded me to get into the business. Okay. Obviously, then I got purposeful, intentional, right? Once I started serving families. So I had the opportunity and privilege to serve close to 2,000 families to buy and sell real estate when I was in full-time production. I did over 500 flips, which, interesting enough, I met somebody that was investing through an open house because that was like my obsession in the beginning of the business when I didn't have any other resources, money. I obsessed about open houses. I did that. And I met an investor, and the investor said, "Hey, I got money to invest. If you find me properties, I'll buy them." So I obsessed about finding them properties, and I did that, and I partnered up with him, and we did over 500 flips like in the next like 6 years together. So anything works, everything works, but nothing doesn't, right? I mean, at the end of the day, whatever you choose to apply yourself to, you're going to get a direct output for that. I will also have a disclaimer that AI is not going to work if you don't. Okay. That's a no-brainer, right? But like AI is not going to work for you if you don't, right? So you need to work and do and cause some chaos in your business, right? And that's how I build, by the way. Anything that I've ever done, whether it's production, it's agent attraction, I've always built through chaos, right? Like I build chaos, I build like an influx of activity, and then I systemize the chaos. So what I'm going to be covering today is tools, prompts, systems that I use that have helped me to elevate, scale, and also create even additional companies as I am leading an organization with DXP. So I'm going to share my screen here. Let me go ahead and pull it up really quick. Let me just hold on. I got multiple screens. Who can relate to that? By the way, it's like you got like 100 different screens, right? I'm like, yeah, that's me all the time, all the time. So very cool. So drop a number one in the chat. Obviously, I can't see the people that are live, but I mean, obviously, drop a one in the chat if you are utilizing AI every single day and you know it like an expert, or number two, you're learning it every day, but you want to have a breakthrough in artificial intelligence, or maybe maybe drop a two if you're not using it as much as you want to use it, but you really want to like get serious about it. Okay. So thank you guys for participating. By the way, I just kind of wanted to get some context, right? 1 and 2. I see Ramin, right? Says like, I'm a 1 and a 2, right? Yeah, I know. I honestly, I'm a 1 and I'm a 2, okay? Because I'm a student of the game, guys. I'm learning every single day. So very cool. So let me go ahead and share my slide. And the conversation and the talk is grow with AI, okay? So I already shared a little bit of my story, so I'm not going to get into too many details about that. We'll definitely get into some Q&A. So let's talk about AI, right? So you guys have obviously seen, the news, right? There's a ton of investment, a ton of money coming in, for these projects, right? Stargate was one of the initial ones, but there is so many different companies that are investing in AI infrastructure specifically. And one thing that I think a lot of people are not paying attention to is the humanoid robots, right? So yes, we're talking about artificial intelligence, which is everything digital. But we also are going to see, and I listened to this guy named Peter Diamandis. So if you guys have heard about this guy, you should definitely write his name down. He has an amazing podcast on YouTube called Moonshots. He has a lot of really amazing content. So Peter Diamandis. So he said that by 2040, we'll have over 10 billion humanoid robots walking amongst us.
Oh my
So
God.
you start to think about everything digital is going to be replaced by artificial intelligence. And I talk to people sometimes and they're like, man, Leo, what about, I'm going to tell my kids to be a plumber, right? Or to be a contractor. But that industry is also going to be disrupted by humanoid robots. So you're probably thinking like, well, what does that leave us? Anything digital and anything physical is going to be done by robots or artificial intelligence. What does that leave us, right? Well, I will tell you, and I'll give you some insights today, but like one thing I do want to say is that emotional intelligence is the number one thing that you want to invest time, energy, effort into. Emotional intelligence. Because IQ is no longer, like exclusive to just a few people. IQ is in your pocket. You got geniuses in your pocket right now that can answer any question, anytime, 24/7, any language about any subject. So you have geniuses in your pocket, okay? So EQ, emotions are going to become the most important things in this new economy. And it's always been really important, right? I know that John has an amazing emotional intelligence, right? I know a lot of you here have amazing emotional intelligence because it's the ability to connect with somebody that is going to be the most valuable thing in this new economy. So you're not going to be replaced by AI, but if you are the agent that utilizes AI, you will replace the ones that don't. I think we're going to have a huge shift in that. And this is Tony Robbins said this, and I bring this up in this AI talk because the quality of your questions determine the quality of your life. This is fact. And it also determines your success with artificial intelligence, because artificial intelligence is about you asking the right questions, which are also known as prompts, which I'll get into here shortly. And I'll ask you this question, and you can drop it into the chat if you want to engage, right? But is having an assistant or a mentor a bad thing? Right? I know everybody's like, no, not at all, right? Not at all. So that's a very easy question, but it's really interesting when I hear people and they say, oh, well, you're using AI. Well, you're using AI. You're using AI. Well, AI is a mentor and an assistant all built in one, right? So I think that AI gets a bad rep for that. They're like, well, you're using it. Well, when has it been wrong to have a mentor? Like, that's the way that we elevate. That's why we're on calls like this, to learn. So just wanted to demystify, right? If you have some resistance around utilizing artificial intelligence, please don't. It's just like having an assistant or a mentor. And if you had the most brilliant person in the world in front of you, what kind of questions would you ask, right? You would, I don't know what kind of questions you would ask, but like, that's something I want you to think about, right? But that's the power of artificial intelligence. It's the most brilliant, and by the way, Grok just released, right, by Elon Musk. He just released his latest version, and he said that it's basically smarter at everything, every category, like any PhD level on every category. So what does that mean? Right? There's a lot of words out there in the industry that like we talk about artificial generative intelligence, AGI. AGI basically means that it's basically smarter at every category than we are. And Elon Musk just said that that's exactly what Grok 4 is. It's smarter at every category. So we're officially, even though nobody's talking about it, we're officially at artificial generative intelligence. I estimate that we are about 5 years away from what's called artificial superintelligence, ASI. Artificial superintelligence is basically the knowledge of all humans combined, and it's going to be 1,000 times smarter than all of us put together. That's what artificial superintelligence means. And by the way, I know it's some when I start talking about this stuff, like, I get two different narratives, right? Like, oh my God, that's really bad or that's really good. And we're kind of living into like two different narratives, right? We're living into like a utopia narrative, or we're living into a dystopia narrative. I believe, and this is my personal opinion, that the danger zone is like now to the point where we get to artificial intelligence. By the way, there's nothing we could do to stop it anymore. It's already in everybody's hands, right? I don't know if you, and I'll share this here shortly, but by the way, we have officially 800 million active users on ChatGPT every 7 days. 800 million users. Like, that's insane. And you know how long it took to get to that? 2.5 years. 2.5 years to get to 800 million users. So in this economy, it's time to stop talking about it and start doing, because any project that you could imagine, any question you can ask, you can get that question answered. And any project you want to do, you can utilize a platform to get it done. So prompt, what is a prompt? I'm going to demystify the word prompt again. It's a specific instruction, question, or input to give an AI model to generate a response. And it serves as a guide to shape the AI's output, ensuring relevant and useful results. And again, I just shared about the stat, right? But this is pretty crazy. I actually literally have it saved on my phone. I'm like, I want to know the moment that ChatGPT crosses over 1 billion active users every 7 days. Because this is crazy. Like, it's never happened. To give you guys some context, I was actually doing a little bit of research prior to us, doing this training, right? Because I always like to stay up to date. But check this other thing out, right? So 800 million users, and just for context purposes, we have, let me see, I have a timeline here. It took Facebook 6 years to get to 800 million users. 6 years. So just to give you some context there. So I'm not gonna get into more stats, but now let's move into like what you need to like master AI. These are the 4 key qualities that I've determined, again, this is my opinion, that I've determined that are gonna help you to master AI. Look at curiosity, clarity, right? Which is intention, creativity, and consistency. So how many of you have these 4 qualities here? All of us, right? All of us, right? All of us. I hope all of us in here have these 4 qualities. So by the way, I didn't put in there, you needed to know software. I need to know tech. I need you to be a genius, right? Curiosity, right? Which is a childlike quality. Clarity, so which is intention. Creativity, which is very similar to curiosity. And consistency, which is the most difficult part. So those are the 4 key qualities that I see. And also, you want to shift your mindset from linear thinking to exponential thinking, because in this new economy, things are moving at 1,000 miles per hour, right? What it used to take decades, it's taking, hours sometimes, depending on what we're talking about. So you want to screenshot this screen here. This is all the platforms that I use every day. Not things that I'm thinking about using, not things that I, hope to use one day. These are platforms that I use every day. Okay. Captions app, absolutely game changer. If you guys are out there creating content, which all of you should, I know John does an excellent job of creating content, obviously. So you guys all should be creating content. Captions app is going to be a very, very useful app for you, because this will add the captions into your videos. And you could even create digital avatars of yourself within Captions app, right? So you can record yourself for 1 minute, and you could literally duplicate yourself and create unlimited amount of content directly on the Captions app. And it'll even give you a teleprompter. You can read it off of a script, and it'll even autocorrect your eyes so you could be looking at this screen, and that way it doesn't look like you're reading off a script. Captions app. It's an app that you could download directly on your phone. ChatGPT, we're going to talk a little bit about, actually a lot about that today. Tasia.ai, for those of you that are using YouTube, this is an AI platform that I absolutely love, because what you want to do with YouTube is that you want to make sure that you have a subject line, you have a description, and hopefully you have chapters, and you also have tags in your YouTube video. So Tasia.ai will actually do all of it for you. The only thing you got to do, right? So you, like John could literally, after this call, download this video, upload it into YouTube, utilize Tasia.ai, and within about 2 minutes, it'll create the thumbnail, it'll create the subject line, the description, the chapters, and the tags, everything for you. So it's a very game-changing platform. Repurpose.io also, right? By the way, I'm talking about social media because we have over 5.2 billion people that are using social media. 5.2 with a B, billion people utilizing social media. So if you're still on the bandwagon, I don't know if I should be using social media. It is free marketing, guys. 5.2 billion people on the planet are on social media. 64% of the population on planet Earth are on social media. It's pretty crazy. So repurpose.io is going to give you the ability to post a piece of content. Let's just say you're posting, your favorite platform is Instagram or TikTok. I don't know which one it is, right? It could be any, it could be LinkedIn, it could be YouTube. You can put one piece of content on one platform. Let's just say it's a video reel, and that video reel will be plastered on every other platform automatically for you. So I put an Instagram reel on my Instagram, and that Instagram video goes to YouTube Shorts, it goes to LinkedIn, it goes to TikTok automatically for me without me having to do that myself. I used to have to pay a virtual assistant for me to do that, for them to do that. So repurpose.io, you set it up one time, and your content will be posted on all those platforms automatically for you. Okay. DeepSeek, I'm actually utilizing it a lot less these days, but DeepSeek is a free version of like a ChatGPT, which is a company that came out of China. I mean, literally, when the moment they came out, I think we had over $2 trillion wiped out of the stock market because we realized, like, wait a minute, these guys caught up to us like that fast. But DeepSeek also has something that's called Deep Research in there, which is basically a $200 product with ChatGPT that is free on DeepSeek as well. So I personally use ChatGPT. I use the paid version. I pay $200 a month. I give them all of my money because I love the platform. It's absolutely a game changer. But if you want to use a version that's free, similar would be DeepSeek. And that's another platform. I'm not going to get too much into that. Opus Clip is also a really great platform, right? You can do an educational event. You could do a long form piece of content. You could take this video, for example, here today. And what you could do is you can use Opus Clip and literally dice up all the different clips, and it'll give you the most SEO optimized clips, and it'll even put the captions in there automatically for you. Gamma, one of my favorite apps, by the way, gamma.app, right? Who uses Gamma in here, by the way? Who's using Gamma already? Yes, no, maybe? Just put a 1 in the chat if you are, or raise your hand if you're using Gamma. Gamma.app, right? It's an amazing platform, guys. Amazing platform. Gamma app sounds like, so nobody's using the Gamma app in here. Nobody?
Is it the
I
one
am.
that you use it for preparing PowerPoints?
Correct. Yep.
Yeah.
It's absolutely game changer. By the way, I do this other training on listing presentations because I redesigned what a listing presentation is. And I think that you should pivot your listing presentation to not be a relic of the past and actually create an authentic new presentation for that specific property. And you could do that through something like gamma.app. So one of the first steps is obviously you want to create an outline for your presentation, and you can paste it inside the Gamma, and within 10 seconds, you can have a beautiful presentation like the one that I'm doing today, and it could be designed and done within 2 minutes. It's game changer. It's called Gamma app. Notebook LM is also another platform that a lot of people don't know about, don't talk about. It's actually a Google product. It's absolutely game changer. I love Notebook LM because it has a 300 million word context window. So that means that you can literally fit, like, you can fit unlimited amounts of content into that thing, and it could summarize it, dissect it, and it could clearly give you some outputs of summaries. It'll give you descriptions, and you can even create what's called a GPT. So for example, like I'll give you guys a case study of how I use Notebook LM. I took every single piece of document out of all state groups of EXP. So we've got 50 states and we have, 27 countries now. So I took all the PDFs of all the different states and all the different countries, and I put it inside of Notebook LM, and I have one mega brain on EXP. So if I have an agent, because I have agents in 42 states, right? So I get agents all the time, like, hey, what's my broker information in Texas, in Florida, in New York? I can go to my GPT, which I share with my agents, and literally they get the questions answered within seconds because it has all the context of EXP specifically. So for you, you could take your presentations, you can take your SOPs, you could take your scripts, you can upload it into a Notebook LM, and now you can give that to your assistant or to your team, and they can use that as a resource to be able to get their questions answered, specifically like you would answer them. One additional feature that Notebook LM also does is that it also creates a podcast around your content. So literally you upload an article, right? Who's like me that likes to listen to stuff versus like reading stuff, right? If you're like me, right? Yeah, Axel said like, yep, I like to listen to stuff. So what I do is that I take any article that I run across and I upload it into Notebook LM. And what it does, I click one button and it creates a podcast with a male and a female voice talking about the piece of content. And it does it within 2 minutes max. So it's game changer, right? I know Saya said I used Notebook LM when I was studying for my real estate exam. Yes, exactly, right? It's game changer. It's amazing. CapCut, I think it's a very popular app, with real estate agents, so you should definitely look into that. Let's Grow CRM. This is a solution that I created because I wanted to create automation and leverage with systems, right? A lot of the CRMs out there, they have great communication channels for, your campaigns, your property alerts, but there's not a social media specific engine. So Let's Grow CRM is going to help you to create automation. So for example, if you comment any keywords on my social media posts, if you send me a direct message on social media, it'll be my AI bot with my knowledge base that'll respond to you. Or if you call my business line, my AI assistant, Amy, will pick up the call, answer the call, and book an appointment directly on my calendar. Or if you text my business line, same thing will happen. So that's absolutely a game changer. So one of the things that I will say is that you want to create your own GPT, utilize ChatGPT or Notebook LM. And this is the other thing that I would encourage you guys to do. Take like ChatGPT and create a GPT or Notebook LM and upload your buyer's contract. You can upload your buyer's contract, and then you can ask it and say, hey, you know what? I want to create a custom presentation for the buyer's contract. And it'll give you an outline. And then what I would do is I would use that and put it in Gamma app. And then now you have a full-blown presentation dedicated only for the buyer's contract. And then I would do the same thing for the listing contract, right? You upload the listing contract and you do exactly the same thing. You upload it and then you ask it to create a presentation outline for you. You take that presentation outline, you copy and paste it into Gamma, and now you have a specific seller presentation that is custom to your contract. So you could do that also with disclosures, right? There's like 40, 50, 100 pages on disclosures. So you could take all your disclosures, upload it into a chat and into a GPT and ask it to create a presentation and then customize a custom presentation that you can now house all of these different presentations in one resource library. That way, when you're walking your clients through escrow, you can have specific presentations, which is going to tell the customer what? That you're professional, that you know your stuff, and you're prepared. And that's going to give you trust, which is good. More people are going to want to do business with you. Cool. So are you guys still with me? Because I got more stuff to cover. I just want to make sure that you guys are catching what I'm dropping. Good stuff so far? Yes,
Absolutely.
I know Axel said yes. All right, cool. Awesome. Thank you guys. Appreciate it. So I know John is an amazing coach, and I'm an amazing coach as well. But the best coach on the planet is ChatGPT. I'm just going to tell you guys that, right? I'm telling you, right? Every single question you could imagine that is a real estate specific, right? And obviously I'm talking about real estate because we're talking about real estate. You could role play scenarios, right? If you want to do agent attraction, why don't you role play directly with ChatGPT on your phone and say, hey, you know what? I'm prospecting a top producer and I'm inviting them to learn about EXP. I want you to be the recruiter and I want to be the agent. Pitch me your best line. So now ChatGPT has a verbal interaction with you and you could learn on how ChatGPT does it. And then I can also then ask it and say, you know what? I want to be the recruiter and I want you to be the agent. And now I want you to critique me and tell me what I could have done better. So I can get specific coaching for every single conversation. You can role play expireds, past clients, circle prospecting, foreclosures, commercial. I mean, you can negotiate any scenario. Like you can literally take, I know that obviously we're in real estate, right? We run across difficult people, do we not? We run across difficult people, right? We run across some people that are just like email happy. They'll write to you like 3-paragraph emails about like, some breakdown. So it's going to probably take me like an hour for me to like try to consume all that content and try to respond in a professional way. So I could take that email, or we can use Fixer, right? Like we got Fixer now with EXP, which is fantastic, so I was using it like this before. I was just taking that content, put it in ChatGPT, and I said, you know what? I want to respond to this email in a professional manner. And my objective is to X, right? You just give it your objective and it'll draft up a beautiful email exactly like you want it to sound. So the other thing is that you also want to have AI sound like you, because the thing is that it's going to be very generic, right? We know damn well when we're reading a piece of content or we're seeing people on social media, we're like, that's not my friend. That sounds like AI. So the first thing you want to do is educate artificial intelligence about you. So I'm going to give you guys the 3 tools on how to do that. And then I'll get into other things as well. But you're going to need ChatGPT. You're going to need an email service of some sort. You can, obviously, we have 3 different CRMs with EXP. You can use any for that matter. And you're going to need Google Documents for this. But this is a really cool prompt right here, right? And this is going to probably take you the longest time. But if you guys take anything away from what I'm saying today, please do this one thing, because once you do this one thing, AI is going to learn about you, and it's also going to give you specific outputs to be able to execute your projects, and it's going to sound like your target audience. So this is a very, beautiful prompt. I want you to fully comprehend my business, customer target, brand voice, vision, and goals. Your future responses must be based on exclusively and detailed answers I provide. To prepare for this, ask me at least 25 questions. That should be a 25. That cover the following areas: business model, core offerings, and ideal customer. So I'm not going to read through the whole thing, but the point is that ChatGPT is going to ask you 25 questions. So take those 25 questions, put it into a Google document, respond to every single question. Once you're done, upload it into ChatGPT, and now ChatGPT is going to learn about everything about you. So when you ask it to make your newsletter, when you ask it to make your blog, when you ask it to make your social media post, when you respond to an email, it's going to have that context, that brain that's going to now make it sound like you. If not, you're going to get a very generic output. So that's step number 1. This is the first prompt. Step number 2, which I don't know why my numbers are not showing up on this presentation. It should, but I don't know what's going on here. Content ideas your target audience may want to know. So this is just creating a list of 100 high value, super interesting, lesser known clickbait style content ideas centered around my specific niche. So again, if you write the 25 questions and you paste it in there, now the second step is to do this, because this is going to give you 100 content ideas that are specific to your business and your target audience. So that's the second step. You want to screenshot this thing, and this should be 100 here. Again, I don't know why the numbers are not showing up here, but that's what you want to do. This is second step. So now it's going to give you all of those content ideas, and now it's going to have that additional context. And now you're going to say, you know what? I want you to create my newsletter content calendar. This is the specific prompt. You want to copy and paste this as well. And this is going to give you, I send out a newsletter once a week. So I send out 4 a month. So, I send out a little bit over 50 newsletters a year. So I was able to execute this project in about 35 minutes, right? And I got all my newsletters done for the entire year. So this is the exact copy and paste prompt, right? So you want to screenshot that thing right there. And then once you have the content newsletter calendar, it's going to give you a very specific prompt or a specific output. Now what you want to do is actually write the newsletter. Each one of the subject lines in your content calendar is going to have a beautiful subject line there. So what you're going to want to do is paste the subject line in this next prompt and paste this so it can actually draft your entire newsletter. So you're going to do that. If you're sending out only one newsletter a month, that means you only need 12. You need to do this copy paste process 12 times. If you're doing this twice, then you do the math, right? It's 24. So you take that prompt, you execute that one. So that's how you create your newsletter. I think every single one of you should have a newsletter. By the way, if you guys hear most of the influencers out there, people that are leading giant companies, email is the #1 most underrated tool you have in your marketing arsenal. By the way, TikTok is going away. It officially is going away in 2026. So I tell people all the time, yes, build your social media platforms, but if you're not building your email list, the moment that those platforms go away, your entire audience goes away. So you should be funneling them into your database and sending them on some sort of newsletter so you can stay top of mind, okay? Now, this next prompt is to generate basically every single script. Again, once you have context, okay, it knows your business, now you're going to ask it to write specific scripts for you, for first-time buyers, for investors, luxury buyers, for sellers, foreclosure clients, relocation clients, people that are thinking of refinancing. So now you can create specific scripts for your business. By the way, if you're running a team, one of the first things that you're going to want to do when you're running a team is give them scripts that work for you, right? So this is a way for you to deliver that value to your team. So it's, copy and paste that or just take a screenshot. You want to definitely use that. Also, every single one of you should be thinking about funnels and, attracting customers into your world. And there's going to be a top of the funnel, the middle of the funnel, the bottom of the funnel. So how you create a funnel is with this exact prompt. This is going to make it really easy. So screenshot this thing. So when you get an open house lead, when you get a new buyer lead, when you get a new listing, you get a new listing lead, you need to get a referral. Think about what the funnel, what the automation, what the process is, because your customers will refer you if they have a world-class experience. So this is going to be a way for you to build that out for yourself, or you might be promoting a buyer webinar. You might be promoting a listing webinar. This is going to be a great prompt for that. Also, every single one of you should have a calendar. You shouldn't just be guessing what you're going to do next. I run about 30 to 40 appointments a week. So my calendar is like my life. I have everything on my calendar. I have this call on my calendar. I have my haircut on my calendar. I have when I'm going to wash my truck. I have date night. I got everything in my calendar. So making a productive calendar and following the productive calendar is really important. So this prompt will help you to design your exact calendar. So utilize this to make it easier for you, but this is going to break it down to weekly, daily, and monthly activities. Really powerful prompt there. So this one is an open house prompt, right? So like I said, I built my business on open houses. So this is going to help you to develop the scripts, the follow-up plan, and the engagement and conversion tips, specifically for your open house with your target audience. So this prompt, again, is what you're going to want to use to build out your open house campaign. Okay. So I'm making it really easy for you guys. I'm just giving you exactly what to use. And the other thing is that 60-something% of all the agents I coach, they're obviously utilizing and gaining their business from their SOI. So this is going to be a really important prompt for you. This is going to help you to build your entire process for your SOI, your outreach, how you add value to that community, all of that good stuff in this prompt. So make sure you screenshot this thing as well. And by the way, you guys should have taken screenshot and pictures of all this stuff. But if you didn't, here's my AI ebook. Okay. This is where you could download this. So you could want to point the phone at the screen. And this is going to give you a free download of my ebook of everything I just covered for you guys, for you to be able to put it in process. And I also included additional things in there as well. So I got a couple more things to share, and I'm almost done here because I know that we're kind of like close on time. But I will say this, guys, AI safety is very important. Okay. What do I mean by that? If somebody talks to you for 30 seconds and they record your voice, they can clone your voice. Okay. They can clone our voices. They can clone you on camera. Everybody has the ability to do that now. So what my recommendation, this is my personal opinion, is that you should have a family PIN that only you and your family knows. That way, when you get a family member that might be, with a flat tire or in a place, and they're calling you up and they're saying, "Hey, Axel, dude, I need you to send me over a Venmo for $100. I got a flat tire and I lost all my stuff." And if it sounds like me and I'm your family, you're going to be like, "Of course, where do I Zelle you?" Right? So you should ask and say, you know what, Leo, what's the family pin? And then I'm going to tell you da 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 da. And then if the person on the other line says, what are you talking about? You know, that's AI. So I know this is not a topic that a lot of people talk about, but I always like to talk about it because this is stuff that I started thinking about. Like, wait, people can clone my face, my voice, my videos, everything. I was like, man, my family needs to understand how I can protect my family. So I'm gonna change gears really quick. This is another thing I think I'm extremely passionate about. I'm somebody that's very system driven. Also, if you want to, obviously scale, you want to make sure that you're documenting your journey, because everything, how you get off the hamster wheel, by the way, is by creating what's called standard operating procedures. Okay, standard operating procedures. You want to think about. I heard Brent Gove say this recently. He said, he's like, if you want to elevate, you got to delegate. If you want to elevate, you got to delegate, right? So if you are hitting a wall in your business and your production, is because you're not documenting your process and you're not employing somebody to help you with those things. So by the way, as a real estate professional, you signed up for 15 jobs, and I put them on the screen for you. You have an onboarding, job. You have a listing management job. You have a lead generation job. You have a transaction coordination job. You have a client communication, marketing and branding, open house job, compliance, team management. If you're running a team, you also got to run your finances, tech and tool job, client relationship, training and development, and business planning. These are all your jobs as a real estate agent. And I'm pretty sure there's more, right? So my advice is that every single one of you creates standard operating procedures for every job. That way, when your business is so productive and so busy that you can't manage it on your own, you're going to be able to staff somebody and give them a blueprint of success. That way you can duplicate that aspect of your business. So I created them all for you, by the way. I'm going to give them all to you for free. So these are 52. This is an ebook with all 50, literally this is a 52-page package with all of the SOPs. Every single one of these jobs in this link. So you got, and it's just free, by the way. So you can scan it and it'll send it over to you via email. Okay. So that's, let you guys do that really quick. It took me a long time to develop that. So I wanted to set you guys up. I'm like, this is what you need to do, but I wanted to give it to you guys away. Right. So this is really important. Vision without execution, guys, is hallucination. So please execute. By the way, they talk about AI. They're like, oh my God, that thing hallucinates. Well, guess what? We do too sometimes, right? So you hallucinate by not executing. And my obsession in this talk is take action and implement, please. It's like you can't just be passively learning anymore. You got to learn and implement on the spot, because if you don't take action, you're going to forget about it. You're going to get into a transaction. You're going to forget all, and you're not going to take any action. You're not going to do it. So my goal is to motivate you to do it. Actually, I had a video and it's not in the presentation anymore, but also if you guys get to the point where you guys are wanting to hire talent, guys, I have a great solution as well. I have VAs that can help you to implement all this stuff. So if you want options on that, I have a great solution. And the last tool that I also have, which I'll share my screen really quick, that I built recently, and I'll be done. Where is it at? Here we go. I'll share this tool with you guys. This is something that I built that is game changer. Prompt Utopia, right? So Prompt Utopia basically has all of the prompts that I just talked about and 90 more. And what the cool thing about it is, because I had this problem, man, I got all these prompts, where do I house them? So I actually have a way to literally give you all of the prompts in one place. And this also connects directly to ChatGPT. So you could create your prompt and then you can execute it on ChatGPT directly from the platform. And what I'm doing is I'm constantly adding new prompts. Right now we have 120 different prompts, and I have them systemized with marketing and agent attraction. I have all that stuff in there too. So if you guys want a copy also of everything I just talked about today, obviously send a message to John, or you guys can also go to my social media and comment AI on it, and it'll be sent over to you guys automatically. So I'll open it up for questions. Thank you guys so much for listening. I really appreciate you guys. I hope that was valuable. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Give Leo some kudos, guys, in the chat box, and let's open it up quickly here. We got a few minutes for questions. Let's go ahead. Questions.
Leo, if I may jump in there quickly, is there any aspect of real estate that we should not have the AI punch in?
I would say that the connecting with the clients. So I guess my rule of thumb is anything that's repetitive, you should delegate to AI or an assistant. Anything that is non-repetitive, which is you talking to buyers, talking to sellers, negotiating contracts, those three things you would want to keep yourself at the center of focus. Everything else you want to leverage to AI.
Thank you for that. And one more question while we're at the same topic. So you introduced quite a bit of an app for us and AI in there. Which one of this, or maybe something even beyond what you introduced, which one of them are overhyped and which ones that they're flying on the radar and you recommend maybe we should pay more attention to them?
I think Notebook LM is completely underhyped, and it's one of the most powerful tools for sure. It's game changer, and it's free. Like, it's a Google product. It's like awesome. There is a paid version for Notebook LM now. It just gives you additional context, but I mean, you honestly don't even need to pay the version like the next step up unless you're like, you have like, I don't know, you want to dump like eight movies in there. Like, that's how much content it can grab, and then you can have it like specifically answer questions. So it's like that I think is one of the most underhyped products. I personally believe that AI is underhyped. Just a period, right? I think everybody's talking about it, but it is completely underhyped. Like, the way that it's going to change our world, like, it is so massive that it is like, yeah, people are talking about it, but you think about it like this: if I have a kid, a son that is going to be born in November, right? My first one, right? So I'm going to be a dad in November.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So I think about it. My son is not going to live in a world where there's artificial intelligence and robots. But think about the kids that are in school right now. The next 5 years, whatever they're learning in school is not going to be useful in this new world. So if you have kids right now, tell them to start learning artificial intelligence now. Anybody
Cool.
that is a human being that you know should be utilizing artificial intelligence, because it's not a matter of when. It's not a matter of if, it's a when their job is going to be disrupted. You guys saw Perplexity yesterday. They just rolled out a new platform that is going to disrupt the entire financial industry. Yesterday, this happened. Every industry is going to be disrupted. Everything. It's underhyped from my perspective. Thank you for asking that question. And thank you guys for the congratulations. I'm super excited. Yes. Awesome. Any other questions? I want to make sure that I provide a ton of value for you guys. Any other questions?
One
Hi,
last
Leo.
question. Yo, go ahead.
Hi, Leo. This is Shamil from Toronto. I did download your prompt or your AI, the ebook.
Mhm.
It did not have all the prompts. I mean, the prompts are amazing, by the way. Thank you so much for sharing those with us. And I couldn't find all the prompts in there because I did miss out a few slides from your presentation. Is there any way you could send us just those slides with the prompts?
Yeah, do me this favor, and you can actually get this entire slide deck if you guys go to my social, my Instagram, and comment AI, and my AI will send it to you.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you.
The easiest way, right?
Great. Thank
Thank
you.
you, sir. Yep.
Can AI tools help identify homeowners likely to sell in the next 6 to 12 months?
Any AI tools? I think there is one. I think it's called. Well, I don't know. It has AI into it. Like Street Text is one. Street Text is one. But I don't know if it has. I mean, it's just more of a lead campaign. I haven't found a useful or good one yet to recommend. But Street Text still works. Street Text or Bold Leads, those still work.
Bold leads and street text. Okay, got it.
Yeah. For seller
All
leads
right.
specifically.
Can I ask just one quick
ahead,
question?
Shamil.
One more. So, obviously sometimes we subscribe to so many services, but right now for ChatGPT, I'm just using the free service and it's been working pretty good so far. But the paid service, I think that's ChatGPT 4.0, or maybe the next version is already out. I mean, which ones do you usually subscribe to right now?
So everything I put on the screen, I subscribe to, right? So definitely I pay the $200 version for ChatGPT. It's worth every penny. Like, I've been able to build an additional 6 companies in the last, what, like we're in July and I built 6 companies this year. So think about it like this, like, you know, what do you know specifically? What is your superpower and how can you use AI to package that up and create a course, create an ebook, create something that you can also monetize on? So pretty much everything on the screen that I mentioned, I pay for the subscriptions because I'm so grateful for those platforms because I used to have to pay people to do those things, right? So that would be my answer.
Wonderful. Thank you so much.
John, I think you're saying something and you're
Oh.
muted, sir.
Thank you, Leo. If there's one last insight for us with regards to AI, obviously you gave us a ton of value. Thank you. One last insight for the audience for AI.
Yeah, so I would say that the way you connect all the AI is going to be like the number one thing you want to focus on, right? Because I used to use, like, outside of these tools I just shared today, I used to use another 22 tools, right? 22 tools that did a ton of stuff, like, but they were all disconnected. So I created one platform and I created one thing and I packaged everything up where my AI picks up the calls, the automations, it's all in one place, right? So I would say try to figure out how you can make all those tools talk to each other in one place. It's very, very important
Wow.
that you do that. And if you guys want to
Yeah.
learn, I also created a AI course. So if you guys, if for $297, you get me basically for 7 days where I dive into it as well. So that's another thing that I do offer because I get all the questions like, what do I do? How do I implement? So I have a 7-day course that I have for that too.
Yeah, guys, DM I am Leo Robles and comment AI and reach out to Leo if you want to get into that course. Guys, I was mind blown in Oahu and I'm mind blown again since it was more new stuff today. So thank you, Leo, for everything that you do. Look forward
Thank you,
to
my
seeing you
brother.
in Miami.
Yes, sir. Yeah, absolutely, brother. Thank you so much for the opportunity. It's a privilege to speak with you, and any way that I can serve you or your community, anybody, please let me know. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Leo. It was
Everyone, thanks,
it was
Leo.
the day that I took a lot of screenshots the fastest. So I love you, man. Thank you so much for the information. Super hype. I appreciate you. Thank you so much for
my
the
brother.
session.
I gotta channel my John energy, bro, because this guy has amazing energy, right? So thank you, sir.
Oh,
I
man.
appreciate you.
Thank
you so
you.
much.
Have a good one.
Alrighty.
Take care.
See you guys later.
Thank you.
Bye.